I want to talk to you around the subject of protecting, maintaining, and growing your organic self. Don't go nowhere. This will be good for you. Let's start this conversation off with a reflection. Let's start with the love of a parent to a newborn child. There is this instantaneous connection, protection, and love that a parent has for their child the moment that it is born. Part of the reason for this is because they are dealing with one of the only spirits that they've ever come in contact with that is untainted, is only filled with pure love and positive energy, right? Stick with me. Just listen. This is usually when people feel they first come across something worth protecting like that. My child has done nothing to this world. My child is amazing. My child is loving. My child is sweet. I've never seen love like that from any other person. Right? Well, here's the thing. I just seen something. Let me say this. Don Randall's. This is the thing about conversations like this. King David is very tolerant of people having opinions, but when it spills over into the time and reflection and the intelligent conversations that I share with my viewers, I tolerate nothing. Okay, sir? So I won't allow you to take any more time in this conversation. However, I'll say that this will be the last one you're a part of. Now, back to what I was saying to you. The love that you receive from a parent is given to you because they start off seeing you as pure, as something that is worth protecting, as something that is without fault. This translates directly to your self-love. If we think about who we are now, we can think about all the wrongs that we've done, all the people that we've affected, and all these other things that make us feel like we are not perfect. We are not perfect. We cannot be perfect, right? Think about when you were a child. There is a version of yourself that you still have a memory of that was. There's a version of yourself that wanted nothing but good for other people. There's a version of yourself that had nothing but love on the inside. If you can reflect on who that was and refer to who that was at any point in time during your life, you will be one step closer to finding who you truly are, protecting who you truly are. Maintain the child inside of you. Identify with the child inside of you. Protect, embrace, pride the child inside of you. Never let that child go. If you are a person, much like myself, who spent their childhood not so happy with yourself, you may have denied the child versus priding the child. You may remember that child in such a bad way. Possibly. Am I touching anybody right now? You might remember that child in such a bad way that you have decided in your adulthood to grow up and be something totally different. And you don't realize why you're not happy, or why you don't feel fulfilled, or why you don't feel that you know yourself, or your surroundings and your decisions and your lifestyle reflects that child. The thing is, none of us can be happy in life, period, without that child. When you want to know who you are, that is the answer. You are not searching in a world outside of yourself to discover who you are. I know it can be a confusing journey, but it's the child, every step of the way, that is the answer. Whenever I'm challenging myself to question an action or behavior that I currently have, I ask myself, who was the child? If David can be impatient with someone, or he could lose his temper or be impulsive when he's angry, was the child that way? Is this my personality solely? Or is this my life experience? To answer that question, I must always ask, was the child this way? When I was a kid, was I this way? And if the answer is no, you found something. Something changed from the time that I was a child to an adult, which means this is what I've become. That's where I want to go back to. See, when we're kids and we have these pure hearts and we give of ourselves to other people and we make actions with other people, and in return we end up hurt, or we deal with trauma, or we feel some damage, we start to figure out, what can I do differently to not have this same outcome? If I am 14 and I get my heart broken in my first puppy love, I'm questioning, what did I do wrong? Was I too open? Was I too authentic? Should I have hid who I was? Maybe who I am isn't good enough. Maybe that's not what I should be showing. Let me start putting on more of a facade and acting more cool. Let me do this, let me do that. These are all things that we process as we mature and move through situations. And these are things that start to take us away from the child. It starts to make us start to be the adult, because we told ourselves that everything the child did was foolish and it wasn't going to bring us the right outcome, so we need to put him down. What we have to understand is there's a time and a place where the child cannot be in your adult life, but the child has to become yours. This is why this conversation started with the parents. This is your child. This is that life that you birthed. That was the first life you saw that was pure and had the best intentions, which makes it something worth protecting. If you were to have a child, you would protect it the same way, right? Right? Don't leave behind the child. Bring him or her with you. Tell her how beautiful she is, how perfect she is, how capable and talented she is, and that none of the things that have happened to her were her fault. But keeping her around in perfect balance is totally your responsibility. Him or her. I love you guys. For those of you who were able to stay around, I thank you. I hope you received what I said. I hope you received that statement deeply. Keep that child with you. Honor that child. Make decisions for yourself in your adulthood and what you accept based off of what's best for your child. The adult in you can handle a lot. It has. But the child in you is your essence, your energy. That is the closest reflection of your godliness that you'll ever be able to understand from a personal level. You need it with you at all times. It's your friend King David. Have a blessed, positive, productive, and last but certainly not least, Encourage day. I'll talk to you later.